got one goal and grew in. Of course, as we have seen lately, once City concedes a goal, they concede another one. Yeah, sometimes they are lucky to come back and win the games, but in this case, they couldn't manage to get. They only had got 1 point. Right now, they're sitting fourth on the EPL table. This is not something that I don't think anybody has seen City on the fourth position, regardless of how bad or how good they start their season. This is not looking like the City that we know. And now there are 5 points adrift top placed Arsenal going away to the World Cup. I don't know where they're going to find themselves when they come back. If Arsenal or maybe Liverpool will take advantage of these 2 weeks, these two fixtures or three coming up before City comes back, City might find itself in a very big trouble. And so I don't know. What did you make about that game, Chioma?
Is it your own faction or the other faction?
No, it's not in calling now.
I'm not
Maybe not invincible.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
me, I come as neutral pundit.
oh boy, factions.
TV, welcome to Radio Football Show, guys. We are back again. A new episode on our reviews and previews of games, especially in EPL. It was an intriguing weekend last weekend. Some very interesting results. We also saw the UEFA Champions League draw take place on Monday with some interesting features. So I'm here again today with my man, Osborne, Nimi. Chioma is coming to be joining us in a few. Renald will be joining us as well. Rotimi, who made his debutant appearance last week, is unavailable this week. Funsho should be joining us too. He's in Nigeria. He was getting his timings wrong. So I hope he's going to be able to join us as well. So yeah, we have some very interesting games that was played last weekend to look at, analyze, and bring out some key issues. The league is taking shape. The table is taking shape. Some teams are consolidating their position while others are stepping up. We also know that Nottingham Forest surprisingly sacked Cooper on Monday after their loss to Tottenham. So we're going to look at all that this week. And with me today, for now, is Nimi and Osborne. Guys, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here today. Really appreciate it.
Osborne,
Always a pleasure as well.
I know you're with the weather, but thank you for coming. That shows your love for the game, man, and the support for the channel.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here as usual. I'm looking forward to a nice debate as we analyze what's going on and preview what's coming up.
Yeah, normally we're supposed to start from the game on Friday, which was a Forest against at home to Tottenham, who they lost 2-0. But Nimi made a special request that he wants us to start with Arsenal Brighton today. I don't know, we're going to go Sunday to Friday instead of Friday to Sunday. On a special request. I don't know what Nimi has in the bag for Arsenal fans in this episode for making this request. Nimi, Arsenal annihilated. Yeah, if you look at the scoreline, it might look like a pretty, or the timings for the goals, you might think it was a tight game, but from the first second of that game to almost throughout the game, Arsenal kind of outclassed Brighton, which is very, very rare to see in the league. I think Brighton last season had, or so far this season, have the highest possession percentage in the league. For Arsenal to start and put them under such pressure and never give them a space to come out of their half, that game was always going to end one way from the beginning. Except sometimes, of course, we know these things happen in EPL as well, that it happens that way, and the other team manages to create a chance and somehow steal the show, just like what happened between Crystal Palace and City. So Arsenal put Brighton under serious pressure. Didn't offer them anything at all, and of course that game ended Arsenal 2, Brighton 0. Brighton is a team that's come to the Emirates in the last 3 times and won 3 times. In fact, the last 5 meetings, Brighton has won Arsenal 3 times. Arsenal managed to win once and 1 draw. So this one, for any Arsenal fan, was a tricky fixture. I don't think any Arsenal fan was very confident that they're going to win, though Arsenal has made Emirates a fortress so far this season. But it went in the way it went. Nimi, let me ask you, did you learn anything new about Arsenal watching that game?
Well, if you remember, I did say that prior to last week, before this show, that Brighton, whenever they play UEFA Cup games, when they come back to play, there's always that of losing. So they continue that. But I will start with, congratulations to the Arsenal family, Arsenal the team. You guys are doing well. I'll start with Peter Bosch, the PSV coach. He made a statement about Kai Havertz after the game against Arsenal in the Champions League. He specifically called for Mikel Arteta to, redefine Kai Havertz's role, and he played as a 10 against Brighton, if you watch. I think Arsenal needed to do a professional job as the new mancity had dropped points and Villa was playing simultaneously like them. And they knew, Liverpool were going to be involved in the biggest game in the calendar against Manchester United. Psychologically, Arsenal knew Manchester United would not go into that Liverpool game and get embarrassed again by 7-0. They would definitely go in and have a strong mentality, knowing last season they were totally embarrassed. And Arsenal, as a team, needed to do their job and do it professionally. If you look at the game against Brighton, Osborne and Reggie, Brighton are not minnows. And as we know, under Roberto De Zerbi, they really wouldn't stop doing what they usually do. And as you said, they've always won the team that wins possession. They always outplay their opponents. And the question is, what do they actually do? They believe they can pass you into submission. So let's go at it. But I did enjoy what Arteta did. Arteta respected the fact that he was going against a footballing team, a team that will pass into submission, and as I said, and believes in dominating. Brighton believes in dominating the round leather ball, and needed to be smart tactically. Arsenal needed, to time the press, and when the press is triggered, and every anticipated passing, passing channels from outline. If you observe, they needed to be blocked and they were blocked. And Arsenal, in my view, I watched that game. They did it wonderfully. The manner in which they restricted Brighton in the first half and throughout the 90 minutes, Brighton was able to construct just one positive move, which Gross missed in the 83rd minute. If he had put that in, maybe the dynamics would have changed. But once they didn't do that, Arsenal then realized that they needed that extra cushion, that goal for security. Arteta made sure the key for me to that game was Declan Rice. Arteta made sure Declan Rice was always in the right position, making sure he was in front of the back four, sweeping up every danger. He was like a rock there. Look, there's something beautiful about Rice. When you watch Rice play, when he wins the ball, he doesn't need to see the pass as other DMs or six will do. All he needs to see is the void in front of him, and he just moves. He's so good at progressing the ball and teasing the opponents onto himself. I don't know if you guys have observed this. He teases them onto himself and creating room for those attacking channels. I think, in my view, Declan Rice has proven to be the buy of the season. Because the manner in which he has changed the Arsenal dynamics, I keep saying this, in terms of being stable. When do I pass? When do I dribble? When do I take up the mantle to progress the ball? My God, boy, oh boy. It just says a lot. And, he has been superb. And the second goal by Kai Havertz, who I think his role is being redefined. It's looking like in the game, in a game that Arteta, I don't know if you guys are seeing this. In the game that Arteta feels comfortable that the Arsenal will win, he goes with Declan Rice and two number 10s in Kai Havertz and Odegaard. Odegaard, again, is another wonderful player, very mobile. He's more technically gifted on the ball than Kai Havertz. Once Odegaard drops, Kai Havertz then fills out that void in supporting the striker. And if you look at the second goal from Declan Rice to Eddie Nketiah to Kai Havertz, I think, players like Kai Havertz can get that confidence from his recent performances. The manager spent close to, is it 65 million pounds
65,
on
yeah.
Kai Havertz? He has to justify, and he's justifying. One thing I would take for Arsenal fans, if I'm Arteta and Arsenal fans, I worry if you guys observe in that game. Technically, Martinelli kills so many attacks by holding on to the ball too much. If you watch that game, there were 2 or 3 situations where Gabriel Jesus' body language was one of frustration. They were countering. Martinelli does this, his leg shaking, and before you know it, everybody is back defending. So I think maybe they could cut that and go on a quick pace, just as the second goal came, quick pace football. I think will be good. But right now, Arsenal is looking well oiled, well marinated, well oiled, ready to be cooked. And they're cooking. And we'll just have to see what will happen when they play Liverpool next week. I have my champagne and my popcorn ready. Hopefully to come here next week and see Ugu and Chioma crying,
You don't have champagne, anything. There's no champagne.
Choma, welcome to the show.
Thank
What a
you.
way to welcome you. This Nimi will not leave you alone. Once he sees your face, he will just throw one bullet.
No,
Forgetting that you're a gunner.
you can smell me from a distance.
Chioma, don't worry, there will be champagne tomorrow. There will be champagne next week.
So
We'll be
let me
here.
do there. You mentioned Martinelli. Do you think Martinelli's problem is a case of a tactical thing to kind of draw defenders to him and create space for the players in the middle, or trying too much to make the impact that he made last season?
I think it's a technical flaw in his game. If you watch last season, I think he scored 15 goals, I think, with some assists. This season has not been going well. The difference I see in him is, as you said, things didn't go well in the start and he's forcing things.
Yeah.
As a winger, you get the ball. You see Gabriel Jesus making that run. You see Saka making that run. Kai Havertz taking that space. There's no need for you to put your leg and start dancing this masquerade, azonto, dancing. Run with the ball, pass the ball, and make it clear. He gets the ball and he does it, and guess what happens? Ugu, you're a referee, you know what happens. The moment you hold on to the ball, all the players, everybody draw back.
Fall back, yeah.
And you stop that space. So that's something that I think is a flaw in his game, that maybe it's age or maybe it's experience, but
I think I see him try to force things a little bit. He's trying too hard to make the numbers of last season. Saka also struggled, but I think Saka has adapted his game and know how to be patient. Especially, I observe that sometimes when one Saka or Jesus or Odegaard scores, Martinelli tries to, is forcing things to get his own impact on the game. It's something that I think he can improve in his game. Before I come to you, Ugu, let me stay with Chioma. Chioma, is your weekend. Your boy Kai Havertz continues his exploits for Arsenal. I don't know. I was having this debate in a group. I was telling people that yes, I was skeptical when Kai Havertz was signed. I didn't know what Arteta saw, but I was willing to trust Arteta since he has done well with so many other signings, especially when he came in against all odds. There was no other person in the face of this earth that wanted Xhaka to stay in Arsenal, minus Arteta, and we saw how that found out. So I was willing to also be patient. So, okay, since he has surprised us with Xhaka, let's see if he's willing to let Xhaka go and bring in Kai Havertz. There has to be something that he has seen. Then we couldn't see that in the first few games. It happened that Kai Havertz was struggling with confidence. But once it looks like he has found some confidence, we are seeing a new Kai Havertz. Have you been able to figure out the plan Arteta has for Kai Havertz? For me, I found a few things, but so Chima and his group, sorry, we've not been able to have Chima on the show. I think we're going to find one of these days to have a show when Chima will be available. Chima is adamant that
Okay.
Havertz will not deliver for Arsenal, that he's not good enough and stuff. I don't know if you share that
Please.
emotion.
No, I mean, we're going to give Arteta 100% for player rehab. He's doing well. He did it with Shaka. And, recently this week, Shaka has been raving about how he has some free time to come over to the Emirates. And I think he's going to watch the Liverpool Arsenal game because it's free. So I think that's a step of a man who was treated well, whose confidence was given back, even when the fans were complaining they didn't want him. But Arteta is, I think, he's a pro in finding the diamonds in the dirt, e.g., Kai Havertz. It felt like nobody wanted to touch him. I mean, I remember, I think he was on this show. I was talking about Kai Havertz, how I don't like his communication when he's on the ball. I think it was Ubum that was calming me down and telling me that there is something inside Kai Havertz. And then I decided to look closely. So this is how I feel about Kai Havertz. Well, everybody already knows. I think Kai Havertz is the next big thing in Arsenal. It may not be this season, but this season is the season where we're unwrapping the very fat parcel that we bought. I also want to state on this show that the Kai Havertz we got isn't actually the Kai Havertz of Chelsea. We got the Kai Havertz of before, Kai Havertz that actually made Chelsea go for the chase. So I feel very confident. I see what Arteta is doing with Kai Havertz. I mean, his confidence is back. I've always talked about his body language. He's shaping up. When he carries the ball, he looks people in the face. I mean, these days, he's looking people in the face and telling them, like, seriously, like, I need this ball. It used to not be Kai Havertz. He used to be like a pushover. When you give him a nudge, it's like he's walking. You know how his shoulders is now? He'll now start walking like he walks in video games. But now he's like, chill. If you look him in the face, he comes, he gives you a nudge, and he's up for the attack. In the midfield, he knows what he has to do. When he's playing forward, I mean, has he even started playing forward yet? I don't even think. He's just been a magician, by the way.
I think in Champions League, he played one game as a first night. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we have not gotten enough from, the forward Kai Havertz. So this and more is how I feel about Kai Havertz. And I know he's going to come into the game, let's say next season.
Okay. Yeah. Let me, I know you can't wait to talk on this one. Brighton is a team I know you have pulse for, and that you're after Arsenal in EPL, just one more team that is that is very, very, very interesting. And we were a bit skeptical going into that game. You know how he panned out. I don't know what you learned new from Arsenal. One thing that struck me about Teta in that game was the game was 1-0, and he was willing to take out Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli to bring in Trossard and Nketiah. At that time, I was wondering what it was about until that goal came. So I don't know what are there any key elements you found out in that game that interested you that you want to talk about?
Yes. What surprised me, first of all, I was quite scared, like you said. Brighton is a side that I rate very highly because of their comfort on the ball. One thing that I found maybe kind of it's something that has worked for Brighton, but it's something that also works against them. And that is treating every game and every opponent the same. Right? It's something that we used to do a lot as Arsenal.
That Wenger.
And one of the things that Arteta started doing initially, but then started learning. Reggie, you always say something that I completely agree with. Arteta hardly repeats a mistake. He makes a mistake, he learns from it, right? So there are opponents you have to structure your game plan to be able to play them. And so the lineup that Brighton fielded against Arsenal, I thought was a tad bit disrespectful. It was like there was no special preparation
for defensive,
yeah. Yeah, they just wanted to come get any of their 11 as usual and just play Arsenal the way they normally play, and pretty much get away with it. Even bearing in mind, like Nimi mentioned, that they struggle after European games, right? He still did not prepare for that game in the sense that it's an important one. He actually prepared more for the game against Marseille with the way they approached it as compared to the way they approached the game against Arsenal. So perhaps the Europa League may be their main priority to try and go far and possibly win it. It's possible for them because they are a very, very good team. So yeah, I was scared playing against Brighton, but then the approach that Arteta took me by surprise, pleasantly so. In terms of preparation, we were on it. When I say on it, we were on it. Defensively, we were on it. And when I say that, what I mean is defensively from Gabriel Jesus, from our forward line, we were on it. We choked these guys so badly that after the game, De Zerbi said, man, haven't seen Arsenal play. The Arsenal are the best side presently on form in the league because of the way that Arsenal choked everywhere up. and I respect that. I respect the fact that we took the game seriously, like we're supposed to. Our players, everybody was on point in terms of putting the focus that was needed to make to get a win from the game, and that focus was there till the last whistle, right? So that's what impressed me.
Yeah. I share your comments. I agree with you because for me that game was very interesting, and Arsenal approached it very, very well by not giving Brighton, because the Brighton is a team that if you give them a space, they will exploit it, and once they get into the rhythm, it's difficult to take them off it. So Arsenal made sure that they never go into that region until very late in the game, which will work for them. And of course, like Nimi said, I think it was also a mental game, knowing where the league is at the moment. Look at Tottenham; they were top of the league for a few weeks, some 3-4 weeks ago. All of a sudden, for them to get back to top four now is going to be a tough call. So you don't want to fall off the cliff because the fixtures are coming thick and fast, and every 2-3 fixtures, it looks most likely that everything will drop a point. So once you can grab it because you never know how it's going to impact your position on the table. And if you're trying to win the league, you have to make sure you are in and around first to third during this season. By the time you come out of the Christmas holiday fixtures, you want to be around first, second, and third. And regardless of position, don't be more than 1 or 2 points above or below whoever that is leading. Consider the fact that City lost 2 points this weekend. So Arsenal had to do the business, and which they did. They had been accused before in the past of not having the emotional and mental strength to take advantage when things like that happen, which they managed to do last weekend. So I think it's a new dawn for Arsenal, good for the team, good for the fans and the players. Talking about Kai Havertz, I'm beginning to see that not just Kai, now his teammates are beginning to understand how to play with him better. I think that's key to it. Like if it was before, maybe Nketiah wouldn't have given that pass to Kai. Probably would have chosen Saka on the right, and probably that chance would have gone. So he dropped deep, just like a prime Hurricane, and linked up that play with Kai Havertz, who confidently took his chance. So I think all in all, is looking good for Arsenal. So let's go back to Friday. Like I said, we're supposed to start with Tottenham. Tottenham, like I mentioned a few seconds ago, are a team that were topping the league, playing good football, and had a patch of 4 games at the Fortard, and since then they've not been able to be in the top 4. Aston Villa has taken over their position in top 4. City has dropped to 4th, and is looking very interesting on top of the table. So, Nimi, do you think Richarlison is finding his form at last? Kulusevski has continued to be an impact player for Spurs. should we take Ange Postecoglou seriously? Do you think that this guy has come to stay with his Ange ball?
Well, I laughed to that because Tottenham are where they are supposed to be. They are in that position. I think the season will pan out and they will finish at beside the top four places. I think the game, the way they approach that game, his team, the players are coming back. Sa, Bissouma, that dynamics, Romero, that dynamics coming back really helps them. It's a shame that Bissouma, as Conte said, is a player that lacks, it's not smart enough.
Yeah, he said Conte said he's not tactically mature.
Smart. It's not smart. No, you use the word smart. It's not smart. So this guy, you're just coming back. You're making rash tackles. You're doing all these things, and it's gonna cost them. They have a very small, thin squad. Tottenham is not looking like the Arsenal team where you could take what you call Jesus out, you put in Ketia. You have quality beaters on the bench. They have a very thin squad and they're dealing with so much injury where you need every player. But I was, really happy for them that they could bounce back and win that game. And as things go, I predicted they were going to win that game. As things go, Nottingham Forest, as we can see, they have to fire Cooper. It was one win in I think 13 or 14 games, and that is not good.
13, yeah.
That is not good for the Premier League manager. They're going to go bring Nuno Espirito Santos. I don't know if that's going to be the answer to them. He got fired. Is it the first 2-3 weeks at Tottenham? Yeah, he's already there. And there's something going on in Nottingham with the goalkeeper Turner. There's something psychological. Even the U.S. national team is making those silly errors and silly mistakes. As a goalkeeper, I'll tell you this. The moment your confidence is dashed, even the smallest ball will crave into. That's what he's going through. And now they have issues with the Greek goalkeeper or Turner, who to use. The team is bloated with so many players at Nottingham, but not quality players. These are below average, at best average players. So it's going to be a big look at if they're going to survive relegation this season. But Tottenham keeps going. And I think this is just eliminating Gragra. They will settle down. After everything, after everything, the water will be up, the oil will be down. We'll see we'll see Tottenham at their normal spot.
Yeah,
You see the volley.
The only thing I would mention there is maybe when Turner was in Arsenal, I know he didn't play a lot of games. He had not been a non-Arsenal fan. You didn't watch him enough. That's Turner for you. Who's that? Remember that?
Who's that?
Turner, yeah, he's a player that he never settles down. He's always, there's something shaky about him. He's never a calm goalkeeper. And I think that's one of the reasons why Arsenal we are good to let him go once the opportunity showed up. I think he's a good shot stopper, but in terms of, it doesn't give you that calmness. It doesn't give you, even as a fan, you're watching him, you're like, hey, bro, can you calm down? So I think, and that was exactly what happened in that goal. It wasn't under any serious pressure. Just take your time, put the ball on your left leg and clear it. But he always puts himself under unnecessary pressure. That's the way I would say it.
It has been common. Remember, he was bought to be the starter, and he lost his place to the Greek goalkeeper. And people started clamoring for him to come back. He came back. Even the U.S. national team, their last game against, I think, is it Honduras? Mm-hmm. You could see that even as a goalkeeper, you're not supposed to be scored on your corner post. And it was scored. You could see the confidence. You could see the confidence is gone.
That's Turner for you. That's Turner for you. In Arsenal, I don't know if you want to put some words in this one. I know you're not about to mention about that in the past. Turner is just unsettled. That's him. And I think that's why Arteta let him go.
Yeah, it's just that lack of composure on the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the word.
So
composure. He lacks it.
I thought staying with Arsenal for a while would have at least helped him get rid of of that. But some people are just like that. They struggle. There's that panic mode that sets in once they are under any kind of pressure on the ball, and then and it's so clear to see, and the opponent usually would go after him
Yeah.
to take advantage of
Was
that.
and this was that goal came at a time Nottingham Forest we are putting Tottenham under pressure. I was even expecting them to equalize, and from nowhere, this guy just gifted Spurs that goal, and that was the end of the game. So Chelsea 2, Sheffield United 0. Maybe I know you you were all over the place in terms of your prediction for that game. I don't know how you feel. I think Chelsea played well in that game. They put Sheffield United under enormous pressure as usual. Couldn't take their chances early enough. They had chances to go ahead in the early enough in the game, but of course, Gallagher won one high press, the one turnover, high up the pitch, and of course, as usual, he has been doing shot like a high school prodigy. But eventually, of course, the talent of Kopama and his combination with Raheem Sterling broke the deadlock, and the Kopama again provided the assist for Jackson, and Chelsea ran away 2-0 with this one. Are we going to see Chelsea? Of course, yesterday Chelsea as well won on penalties with Newcastle in the EFL. I don't know, Nimi, you know more than I do. Looking in from outside, I don't know if I would say Chelsea are on their way back. And again, it was very, very, very exciting, though not happy to see Nkunku back on the pitch yesterday. I was very jittery for him to score that penalty because it would have been it would have been bad for him after waiting for him for 2 years to come and fail in his first assignment for Chelsea. So Nimi, talk us through the emotions of the Sheffield United 0, Chelsea 2, Sheffield 0, and of course the winning Newcastle in the EFL yesterday.
Well, first of all, it's a miracle working God. It's an alpha, it's an omega. Chelsea was there. As you all know, I was shaky. I thought it was going to be a slim. If you guys remember, I said it was going to be a slim victory. And you all saw how we toiled. We toiled like the Hebrew woman. We toiled. We were toiling and toiling, and we finally got this goal. At the first half, we kept going, and I kept like, man, where's the pattern? But remember what this guy did. Remember what Pochettino did. That midfield of Caicedo, Gallagher, and Enzo is not working. So what did he do? He played Gallagher, Caicedo, and Palmer as your 10. And that brought a little fluidity. You could see Caicedo masquerading everywhere. He was like the guy that trekked from when Buhari became president, trekked from Nasarawa to Abuja on its own. He was everywhere. He kept going and going and going, and that showed the kind of player that he is. I was excited. It's 3 points. Although we are still dragging 10th. 10th is dragging us our neck. We are still dragging 10th. I know we win against Wolves. We are still 10th, but it's a progress. We have bounced back from Sheffield. We went to Newcastle. Mudryk was able to find his leg, and he hit the ball fine. I was even when the ball entered, I kept asking, "Is it a goal? Did I see it right?" But it was a goal. So I'm excited. I think it's a bounce. But this Chelsea team is like NEPA. You're happy there's light, and within 5 minutes you turn on your TV, they take the light back.
Wow.
There's so much inconsistency, and I'm hoping they will take this bounce to Wolves. But it was a good game. I was happy we controlled the game, but we're playing against the worst team statistically in the EPL, so it was no
brainer.
No brainer.
So Nimi, you're not excited. You're not confident that Chelsea is on their way back, even after having Nkunku come back yesterday to play against Newcastle. Do you think Chelsea are going to build from here? Oh shit! Yeah, we lost Nimi. Uguma, I don't know. You saw that game, right? As a rival fan, are you worried that Chelsea probably are finding that, like what Nimi mentioned, having Enzo? I remember when the day Chelsea were going to play Newcastle. You made a comment that Enzo is not doesn't offer much going forward as compared to Bruno Guimaraes. I think it's kind of what Nimi has re-echoed now. That taking him out of the starting 11 help Chelsea to be a little bit more fluid going forward. I don't know if you share that thought. And what were your own?
Well, maybe that's what happened. Maybe because I thought Chelsea looked good against Newcastle. First of all, anybody playing against Newcastle now, I support the whichever side it is because I cannot stand Newcastle personally. They're just one of my pet peeves, So I was a big time Chelsea supporter in that game yesterday. I badly wanted Chelsea to win, so I was frustrated at the level of wastage I witnessed with Chelsea. Carelessness and wastage. This Badiagil guy, I don't know what he was doing on the ball. And pretty much just gifted Newcastle a goal. And of course, Eddie Howe, who again, we've talked about this thing how many times now. What exactly is his plan with that Newcastle United side, right? Yeah. They went back and packed the bus. Once they scored the goal, they packed the bus against Chelsea. I'm like, okay, what does this guy actually want to want to do with his team? He packed the squad full of guys there that seem to be fighters, but again, they all fight from their territory. They don't want to take the fight to the opponents. Bruno Guimaraes is all over the place looking for who to kick, doing some stupid stuff that he should be getting carded for, but the referees are not giving him any cards. Anyways, so
Nobody.
yes. So I thought they played well. Chelsea, coming to your question, do I have any reason to be worried? I don't think I do, but I'm also happy for Chelsea. I see some signs, but again, I am worried for them. If I were to be a Chelsea fan, my main worry would be, what is the plan? What is the growth? I don't see the growth steps. I still don't see the growth steps. And for a coach like Pochettino, whom I will normally rate, I don't quite rate him as highly as I used to anymore, because I don't see some foundational stuff that's supposed to be happening now with the squad that he has.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, when you take over a new team, you focus on one aspect, develop it in the next one. Are you trying to develop the team defensively?
I'm not.
Then move to attack, or are you trying to grow, develop the wing side? It's just all over the place with the team. Today,
I'm not seeing. Yeah, you're completely right. I'm not seeing that progress. I'm not seeing him developing certain players in certain positions so that they grow stronger in those positions week in, week out, right? And that's how you build your team and model them after the way you play. So I just don't know how Chelsea are going to push forward to get to where they are, apart from leveraging individual qualities and having individual players save games for them, the way that Modric did. And now Nkunku is now the savior that's going to come and save their season. How about that young man now? Everybody heaps pressure on him and he gets injured or something happens and he fails to click. Then what happens?
Yeah, normally when you come back from long layoff like that, there is always a given that within 2 weeks you're going to go back with maybe a smaller one of 2-3 weeks, like that, until eventually your body gets back to shape. So if Chelsea are hoping, hanging their hope of their season on Nkunku, they might as well write off the season. Chioma, you're wearing blue. Are you touching base with your people? What's your what's your take?
Yeah, Chelsea. I think I share with everything Boom has said. They're not ready. They're not ready. And again, on Pochettino not doing anything. I don't think he has what he needs.
Does he really want to be in Chelsea?
He doesn't know he's Arsenal. I don't know, but because he's not gelling. The Pochettino, I remember the Pochettino. No, there's something just not gelling every time, every game, even in this Newcastle, of course, Sheffield game. Everybody should have called it now. They were not supposed to lose to Sheffield. For what reason should they have lost to them? Even if they didn't even play Kopama, whoever, whatever, they should have won that game. But no, they are not gelling. And just like you said, you and Nugun said, there's nothing he's doing. Probably, I think he just needs to, I don't know what he's waiting for, but it feels like he doesn't have the people he wants. Okay? And you know how it is, being wasteful is a case of inexperience. You know, and when a squad of footballers do not share the same goal, like they don't share the same goal. So, like I love them. The kind of love I have for them is a hate-love relationship. But at this point,
yeah, so City Crystal Palace too. Roy Hodgson at it again. They come again. This is of course, I know you mentioned the bogey team for City 2018. We know they came to Etihad and won. Before then, since then, I think they've gotten one or two draws as well off City. Going into this one, City, we are in control, cruise control for majority, most part of the game until I think the 86th minute. Crystal Palace got one goal and grew in. Of course, as we have seen lately, once City concedes a goal, they concede another one. Yeah, sometimes they are lucky to come back and win the games, but in this case, they couldn't manage to they only had got 1 point. Right now, they're sitting fourth on the EPL table. This is not something that I don't think anybody has seen City on the fourth position, regardless of how bad or how good they start their season. This is not looking like the City that we know. And now they're 5 points adrift top place Arsenal, going away to the World Cup. I don't know where they're going to find themselves when they come back. If Arsenal or maybe Liverpool take advantage of these 2 weeks, these two fixtures or three coming up before City comes back, City might find itself in a very big trouble. And so I don't know. What did you make about that game, Chioma? Well, what do you make about City? City, I don't know.
Know what I think.
For me, I've said it from the beginning. This is not going to be the same City that we have known. There's a lot going on with City. Out of the pitch noise about their charges and the FFP, probably some very key players leaving the team. People like Ryan Mahrez would know used to be away from the team for maybe 3 months, 4 months. Once they come back, they go a 10-game streak of impacting results for City. But they don't have those players again. Doku, for me, is not as intelligent. I think he's been injured now. So I don't know. What you think there is an opportunity for Liverpool and Arsenal, probably maybe Aston Villa, to do something this season?
Please, let's leave Aston Villa out of this, please. I do not want to have to say anything about Aston Villa at the moment. So, Man City, wow, as in like, wow. How the mighty is, they're just doing, I think now I can say it's become a psychological something. It's getting into their heads. You see, they concede and it's a pattern. I've just been following them on their pages and they've been raving about KDB coming back. He has grown out his hair. He's gonna show people pepper. I'm like, KDB should better know that it was not the Premier League he left and went that he's going to meet. Aston Villa just joined the WhatsApp group. So he can't he doesn't even know what these guys are preparing for him. Like,
he doesn't know what time it is.
He doesn't know. He's there forming. Elder statesman is coming. He's even growing longer hair now. I saw him running up and down the training, whatever. I'm like, you think these defenders are sleeping, Abby? They don't know that.
He doesn't know it's 2 p.m. already.
No, he doesn't.
He's still saying good morning. We are on good evening.
He does not know what is happening. When he knows, he will hear. And this city thing, I'm not surprised. Like, I mean, if you are my bold friend, bold manager, you win a treble. You know how he does it now. When he wins something, it's like something will come and fall on him. He will now be trying to catch his breath. I think I mean, I'm not shocked. Believe me, I'm not shocked. But do I enjoy what's happening to them? Of course, I enjoy what's happening to them because, come on, seriously, it's not a farmers' league. You can't keep doing this every day. Like, hello. That's why, like, part of me is like, okay, let's just have Aston Villa in the WhatsApp chat group for like, 3 weeks after December and all of that. Because these guys need to know that this is Premier League.
Yeah.
Do you get like you need people to scare you? You need people to handle you. Now, see Wolves now. They beat them. Crystal Palace, of course, they've been like, their boogie from, my mom would say time immemorial.
Yeah.
For like the rest of their lives. Now, it happened again. And that whole penalty thing, was this our Nigerian, but what's his name? Olise.
Yeah, but that guy was ice cold, man.
Very beautiful player. I cannot overemphasize how tricky, cunning, on time, tactical. That boy is not up to 25 years. And he has that sense.
I'm mentally strong, very, very strong. Nothing phases him.
That's what I'm saying. Ball sense. He knew time was ticking. He knew what he was doing. If Ebere were to be there, Ebere was not in that game. Ebere is always breaking like a baby doll. But, I feel like, this is a balance that we're looking for. People like me, I'm happy to watch it. If they can go down to 8, we'll be very happy by February.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Roy Hodgson, your man, has done it again. And City, I don't know what you think about them. I know when I said it in the beginning of the season, you guys did not agree with me. I predicted it that it was going to happen. Though it hasn't happened yet. Everybody's saying we are used to seeing this first half of the season, second half they will come through. We'll see. One thing I know for sure is that City is not going to win the league every season for the rest of our lives. So at some point, something is going to happen, and maybe it's this season. So I don't know what your emotions are with regards to what's going on with City.
Yeah, I'll echo your sentiments. In reality, we say these guys are unbeatable. They are almost immortal. But, hopefully, this may be the season where something changes. Because they, like you said, they are not going to be there forever, winning everything forever. And so, at some point, people are going to join the WhatsApp group uninvited, like Chioma. I love that phrase. That was quite funny.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So Aston Villa just joined the group. People are producing some serious challenges to status quo in the EPL. That's what makes the league what it is. On any given day, if you snooze, you lose.
And let's not forget, yeah, Arsenal is a big team, but Arsenal wasn't in the WhatsApp group for in fact, we are almost being. If you mention Arsenal, people will tell you, please forget about Arsenal, talking about teams, talking about Arsenal.
Some people are still doing it now more out of mockery than accepting reality.
Exactly.
The reality now.
All of a sudden, they came in since last season and they refused to exit. Even with the administrators of the child group exiting them, somehow they still find themselves. In fact, they have been made admin. They made themselves admin in the group.
Yes.
So who knows if something like that.
So we want to believe that City, yes, De Bruyne is back. Let's see how things go. Starting from when they get back from the World Club Championships. We'll see. And Nunes is also back. I watched their game yesterday. He played really well.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna.
He had some very good link-up play. Yeah, in transition, it was very good for them.
Yes. So I think he's going to be a key player for them once we get into the second phase of the season. But then, key players. EPL again is some kind of league that if you mark your territory and your opponents respect you, most of the time you're going to get away with it. You're going to get away with murder, in fact. Just mark your territory, mark it consistently. You get the respect you deserve, and you take advantage of that respect. The moment they lose respect for you, yeah,
everybody will. Everybody will go and mold their own spec. I'm coming to your house from back to
that's where it
left,
starts.
right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So United went to Anfield, and to the surprise of many who don't understand the EPL, knowing that Liverpool and United any given day is a big game, and big games in EPL you don't just call them. You remember maybe when City they are flying, they always lose against United. So when these big games come, I know United got annihilated last season 7-0 at the Anfield, but I always knew that at some point they're going to step up in a big game, and that they did at Anfield. Liverpool 0, United 0. So it showed up. This came out as a typical big game in EPL. I don't know. Was it a case of a mistake on Liverpool's side, or the United have a resolve performance and said no, we can't come here again and get disgrace like this? The Liverpool disrespect United, or do you think, in my thinking, we are there a little bit emotional? In the words of Gary Neville, did they get soaked into the occasion, or the feeling that they were better than United, and rushed things and eventually could not get the result that they required? You saw the comments of Virgil van Dijk, which has raised a lot of uproar in the media, that it was only one team that came to win the game. But I mean, they didn't win the game. So I don't know what you guys think. It was, and again, having said that, do you think this is something United can build upon, or are we going to go back to seeing the same United we have been seeing all season?
Well, the antecedents, let me start from the last question. The precedents that have been set so far tell us that United are going to revert to status quo, right? They haven't been able to leverage for some progress that have been made in previous instances, right? I think they made a lot of progress in that Liverpool game. I think they approached it the right way. I always expected that United were not going to let themselves be walked over just like that by Liverpool. And fair play, well played to them for doing that, because it was a pride thing. Liverpool are one of their most bitter rivals, if not their most bitter rival. They needed to stand up, no matter who was on the pitch, needed to stand up and fight. And they had their game plan, stuck to it, came out with a draw, right? That's pragmatism that's required on certain occasions in the EPL. Do what you need to do and come out of that place. The same kind of pragmatism I expect Arsenal to employ when they get to Anfield. It doesn't necessarily have to be a smooth sailing game.
Did he just say that?
Yes. It doesn't necessarily have to be a smooth sailing game. I think we need to be pragmatic.
Okay.
I know why you're laughing.
I'm glad you say. Well, the reason why I'm laughing is because remember when Arsenal went to Etihad last season, I was telling you that if I were Arteta, he should surrender our normal attacking football and try to be a little bit conservative going into that game. You and I had a very big argument.
No, you didn't say a little bit conservative. You wanted us to pack the boss and play defensive, and that's what I was against at that point. Being that, I remember that argument very well.
Yeah.
Being that we had played attacking football all through, not even varied it for once until we got to that game. Because of one game, to drastically change our pattern. That was my point. To drastically change our approach because of one game and one opponent would have been destructive to our squad.
No, but that game was very key to winning or not winning the league. It was very key. If Arsenal did not lose to City, even if I got in a draw in that game, I guarantee you the season would have ended the way it ended. So, and this is why people at Mourinho have won a lot of titles, because they recognize those days, that these days are very key. We were 3 points or 4 points ahead of City before we went to that game. And once we lost, City came 1 point behind us, and they had a game in hand or something like that. And that was the end of it. Immediately, the card flipped and we lost the season. Sorry to cut you short. Just wanted to TP on that a little bit.
Yeah. So just saying that we may need to vary our play, but our squad is a lot more mature now.
But when you're saying that, sorry
handle...
to cut you short again, let's look at it tactically. When you say we should do that, looking at the two teams, Liverpool are ferocious going forward, we know, right? Arsenal is strong going forward as well. And at the same time, we are strong defensively. Do you think it's Arsenal that should be adjusting their game defensively, or Liverpool should be doing that? Because, I mean, Arsenal has shown that they can withstand any attack, and they have stuff going forward. So if Liverpool are to bounce on Arsenal the way they've been doing other teams, they stand the risk of, giving away stuff behind them as well. So do you think it's really proper for Arsenal to be the one to adjust their game defensively?
I think so because of one key factor.
Okay.
It's at Anfield.
Okay.
You have to adjust to that Anfield atmosphere and the oxygen that it feeds for the Liverpool team, right? And if you sit off a little bit, I'm not saying allow them to walk over you. I'm saying do not attack gung ho like we in this season. Of course, I'm not scared because we haven't been doing that this season. And so we are quite intentional with the way we approach games. And so it will be a case of using our opportunities when they come, because we'll be able to create chances. It's just when Trent Arnold and the rest of them.
You have dragged us to previewing the next week. We're talking about the last week.
Yeah.
So
going back
to that. What did you make of that game, the Liverpool United? Were you surprised with the way the result came, or of course, obviously you're happy. You were happy as an Arsenal fan, but watching that game, were you surprised about how you panned out?
I feel it was quite exciting seeing that Liverpool couldn't get goals, and then United learned from what had happened to them from the 7-0. They made sure it didn't happen again, which was also exciting. I've never seen a United team that united since the season started.
Is it a case of not having Bruno Fernandes in the team? Do you think it kind of helped them, fight as warriors? Because
if I say it now, they will say it's me that said it. Everybody knows that I disagree with Bruno's captain, everything. I don't think he has the energy of a leader. Grumpy, body language, not my thing, but we're not talking about Bruno, actually. His absence, we can see, brought out some greatness out of that team. Seriously, like you can quote me. I can go on and on about it. Like, I've never seen United play any game the way they played Liverpool. Okay. I actually didn't blame them. It was quite interesting watching them go at it with Liverpool, because Liverpool were not missing a player. I saw how they stifled Salah. He will want to go from here, they'll cut him off. He will come from here, they'll cut him off. I was like, let this man breathe. Can he just breathe? Nobody, as he was like, they were triple marking him, double team, triple, everybody on Salah. I'm like, that is what I'm talking about. Now you people understand how to play Liverpool. Because I'm like, if United did not play their game like that, do you get? Because everybody knows Salah is a creator, Salah is a deliver. Like, he would deliver, he will create. So he knows how to make a mess out of United, checking his history. So, I mean, I was very happy Liverpool didn't get 3 points. I was proud of United. Everybody knows they're my side chick. I want them to do better. But not against Arsenal, by the way, but,
Okay, I want to remind you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you have not done so. Hit the like button and let us know what you feel about what the key elements of the games we have discussed on this show. We look at Villa 2, Brentford 1, Villa 2. Like Chioma said, Villa just entered into the chat group without invitation. I don't know how they got the invite code and just came into the group. And I even trying to vie for election in the group. I don't know. This is a team that has struggled away from home, which they still did at Brentford. They did, Brentford scored first. I was looking at they're going to run away with a win or at least get a result until they got that red card. And Villa took advantage of that and managed to get the 2-1 win. I don't know, is Villa, have they come to stay, or that are they trying to consolidate their European position for the season and then go back to where they normally go? Or do you think they're serious about making a statement at the top end of the table?
They're serious about making a statement at the top end of the table, not necessarily winning the league, but perhaps finishing top 4. They have a good coach. They are ambitious. The squad is full of quality players, especially in the midfield and attack. And actually in the defense, look at Pau Torres. Pau Torres is a starting centre back for Spain. Carlos Roberto normally would be a starting centre back for Brazil if not for his injuries, right? So they already have some major tools in that squad. Then go to the Arsenal wants. Yeah. Okay. So Jalen Ramsey is there, very good player. You have the likes of Musa Diaby is actually even spending more time on the bench these days. They are loaded, so they have a squad to really cause problems for the rest of the league. I think nobody should underestimate them. As for overachieving, I'm not sure they may likely finish top 4 this season, but I think they will fight for it and they will deserve it if they're able to make it.
I hear you. Our viewers, like I said, let's hear your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so, and hit the like button and help us on our road to 5,000 subscribers as well. I've been begging you guys.